Hey, it's Terri, your favorite no bullshit artist and business coach, and you're listening to Terri Talks, where we discuss all things taboo, uncovering art industry nonsense, grounding you in confidence and leadership to run an arts business with unwavering power and grit. Hello, I am just getting up from a much needed nap after doing a shit ton of admin work, but I wanted to share an experience that I had the other day. I've been in the research mode of shopping for a new mattress. Who the fuck knew that mattress shopping was such a big business and industry? And I haven't shopped for a mattress in like 15 years, which is absolutely crazy. The last time I bought this mattress was on Amazon. I know that these memory foam things on Amazon that kind of inflate as you let it rest are the new thing and the easiest way to get a mattress. It's time for a big girl mattress because this big girl at 40 is having some back issues. This episode is really for you if you want to learn more about sales psychology and just salesmanship in general, because this experience at the store was really mind blowing. Excuse me. Before we get into it, I want to just thank you so much for indulging me upfront in this podcast. And just indulging my perspective on things. This is a creative platform that I like to use with amongst the other ones that I like to use, email and social media. But it helps me to share my story and use my voice to inspire other creatives in business in a different capacity. It's allowing me to use my authentic voice and test it out on a much more deep level than I do in stories or in an email. Some episodes are educational, some of them are interview style, but starting Terri Talks has just allowed me to go deeper into what am I capable of doing, not only as a coach, but as a creative myself. So, a reminder that the Creators Power Hour session, September 17th, is right around the corner. It's in a few weeks. If you're not familiar, it's a 60-minute office hour session that's meant to really inspire you, remind you why the fuck we are so connected to this life as an artist, and really help you to connect with your network and the physical human resources that is around you as a community. You're going to have other people. It's going to be a group mentorship setting, and we're going to be able to workshop and brainstorm on any of the challenges that you might be having, especially before the rush of the holiday season. So I'm here for you, and I can't wait to see all of you. Let's dive into this story that I have. So I've been in the market for a mattress. I want a big girl mattress, and I want to make sure that it's extra firm. Now, of course, I have no idea extra firm even feels like. I just know that my mattress is sinking in and it's giving me a ton of shit. So I start to do a little bit of research online, and I find myself just being super overwhelmed. So I know that I am not going to walk into a mattress firm because I don't need to be in a store full of 50 mattresses, too much to choose from, the chaos, the confusion. I don't need to sit on 500 extra firm mattresses. My sister mentions, let's just go old school, go to Macy's, sit on a few. You know that they're going to have top quality mattresses and enough for you to figure out where to start. And then, of course, there are the other department stores, Raymore and Flanagan, and et cetera, et cetera. So as I'm doing this research online, I'm like, damn, I just got to get into a store and sit on a goddamn mattress and figure out what my style of mattress is. Do I want a full? Do I want a queen? Do I want a pillow top? Do I want a box spring? I mean, Jesus Christ, I had no fucking idea that mattresses even had this many categories growing up, in the 80s and 90s. We had simple spring mattresses that were maybe 8 inches tall that sat on, a metal frame, super just old school. And that was kind of it. I don't even remember flipping our mattresses that often. I think my mom, we may have helped her flip a mattress, but in general, there was kind of only one type of mattress. And then of course came the foam mattresses and of course, the Tempur-Pedics and all of that stuff, right? Your really high end, um, mattresses that have all of these mechanisms and are created and crafted with like high technology. And, in thinking about budget, you could go with, a mattress under 1,000, or it kind of starts at 2,000, which is like what I learned is the median for a solid mattress. So I end up looking for a Rainmore and Flanagan. And I'm like, I just got to test this out. I want to make sure that the salesperson is not going to attack me at the door. And I'm already getting my game face on. I've got a couple bags and I want to get in and I want to get out. Now, I just want to tell you that I'm a really decisive shopper. I know what I like. I know what I want. It doesn't take me a long time to actually put my credit card down and actually go to the buy button. Of course, with a big purchase, it might take me a little bit longer, but not that much longer. Like I am a very, definitive, like I can say, yes, I like this. No, I don't. So I kind of already knew that I was going in, being able to express those needs to whoever was going to help me. So I walk into the store and immediately she's like, do you need help? And I'm like, no, I like to browse on my own. And then if I need help, I will absolutely go ask for it and I will indulge the shit out of that salesperson. She sees me looking at a mattress and right away she's like, hey, if you're looking for a mattress, the mattresses are all the way back there. I'm like, great, thank you. And I just beeline it for the mattresses. And she comes over and she's got me. I'm hooked. She's like, so, what do you, I don't even remember the entryway into my experience with this woman. And her name was Sharon. She was just this short, probably mid 40s woman. And, sometimes it can be a little bit stalkish, right? Think about when you're walking into H&M or Gap or whatever. And, you always assume that salespeople are going to be very, very pushy. They're going to stalk you around the store. They're going to want a commission and they're just going to be like super and overly, what's the word? Passion. Let's just say passionate about their job. Although they're really just there to be helpful and to make a fucking sale, right? So anyway, Sharon and I are in the store alone and she starts by saying, so what's your comfort type? And I'm like, ooh, she's going to help me go in the right direction. And there were only like 10 mattresses there, maybe. And I'm like, okay, well, I need a firm mattress and I do not want memory foam. And already I gave her 2 pieces of really important information and she was ready to rock my fucking world. So she's like, all right, let me show you 2. Now listen, everyone's, idea of firm is going to be different. I just had one idea. I like firm tofu. I like a firm couch. I like a firm chair. I like something that's going to support my spine. And that's it. I sit on the firm and I barely even put my ass on it. And I'm like, nope. Those are exact words. Nope, Sharon. How could this be firm? Me and my like convicted attitude, like how dare this be firm? She's like, really? Okay, let's try another firm without the pillow top. And she's going in, she's like, this is great information for me. She's like already very excited on this hunt for the perfect mattress for me. And you can tell that, clearly she's been doing this a very long time. She knows the ins and outs of the mattresses, but it's almost like I'm testing these people out to see how much knowledge they can share. And as I'm watching her go through, sort of a Q&A with me, it was like a show and tell and then a Q&A and a show and tell and a Q&A. And she was pulling me into this sale closer and closer and closer. And, I'm thinking about like, okay, well, what if I was an indecisive person? Would she still be able to drive me to the right place? And clearly her strategy was working because I'm a hard sale and I knew exactly what I liked and exactly what I didn't like. So she took me, she's like, okay, if you think these 2 firms are not as firm as you would like or need, I've got the perfect mattress for you. So we walk over to the other aisle and I sit on this mattress from Stearns and Foster. And one's got this super plush, like 2-3 inch topper on it, but it's firm. And I'm like, wow, this is better. We're moving in the right direction. And this is only after 3 mattresses. And then I'm like, but I don't like this pillow top. Like, I still feel like my hips are going to sink in. She's like, okay, let's look at the sister of this mattress without the pillow top. And I go and I sit and I'm like, okay, this can hold my ass up. And I roll over and I lay down. And I'm just like, wow, she fucking nailed it. Sharon, who are you and where have you been all my life? And why aren't you with me 24/7 to figure my life out? And I realized it was through this very simple question and answer, but detailed questions to get me to a place where I was happy and pretty much ready to buy. I felt like she could read me. I felt like she could understand my needs. I felt like she let me experience these shitty beds that were not for me. Well, they weren't shitty, but they just weren't for me. Even the most high end Tempur-Pedic, I just was not interested in. And I really loved the fact that she was really patient. Now, of course, I'm sure she deals with a shit ton of customers that just want to drive her crazy. I mean, she mentioned somebody spending 4 hours sitting on every single mattress and they ended up leaving more confused than they entered in the store. And that often happens too, right? Which is why I didn't want to go into a large department store with only mattresses. I need someone to narrow that shit down for me. So whatever you are offering me, whatever is in your product suite or your portfolio or in your shop is going to lead me to getting something that I love, right? Now, if I hated everything at Raymore and Flanagan, I probably would have just walked out after the first or second mattress. Maybe the store was a shit show or there was garbage or whatever it is, right? But everything was like VIP sort of service. And Sharon rolled out the red fucking carpet for me, regardless if she knew I was putting my credit card down or not. And of course, I knew she was getting a commission. Like, I knew she was going to work her ass off, but there are times where people don't have to do that if they give, if they're giving you the feeling like they're just there to browse. They're maybe not going to give you 100% of your attention. So her customer service was out of 100, a 200. So we go and we lay on the mattress and we're talking and I'm like, wow, I knew that mattresses were expensive, but I really had no idea for, like what they would go up to. And I didn't know, like, wow, this queen is smaller than I thought. She's like, well, it's a very big store and you're looking at this not in a bedroom. And she just had this way of painting an incredible picture for me. She taught me new things about how, when the mattress doesn't fully meet the bed frame, it's because they're allowing that room for comforter. So when you I don't fucking tuck my comforter around, but my mattress moves inside of the captain's frame. And I never knew that. And so she was also educating me and just giving me like fun things to think about, really. And I love that shit. Like, I'm an educator, so I eat up all of I have the weirdest questions sometimes. And, I'm asking her, well, what's the best seller here? She's like, well, it's kind of split, right? Because if you are into the Tempur-Pedic situation, that's its own category. If you're into the spring situation, that's its own category. And I'm thinking about my clients and I'm thinking about the way that they navigate their shops and how they set things up. And like, do we set things up in sections and do we have a drop down button for, greeting cards and original paintings and prints? And do we have that many products in our suite? Right. Do we think about, okay, this original painting being a print because we don't think that someone's going to buy the originals? Like, the psychology behind this entire shopping process really brought home what customer service meant to me. And I try and do that for my clients, right? I make sure that I'm constantly in communication with them and that, my T's are crossed and my I's are dotted, or when something, a link doesn't work or a calendar invite doesn't work, that I'm on top of it and I'm going to make sure I'm going to make it right. And when I see artists losing that drive to make it right or to follow up with someone or to be a little bit more aggressive and boisterous, it's always a missed opportunity to find out if it could have happened. if it could have worked, if a relationship could have been fostered and cultivated, if your highest sale could have been made. And I never want to live my life, thinking that I had more questions or didn't say something or didn't express my love or didn't do this and X, Y, and Z because I was afraid. And, the older I've gotten, the more, I guess, the more I know myself and the more I ask really specific questions because I have the knowledge and the experiences, but like to back those things up. And I'm not scared to ask those questions because at the end of the day, it's my money, it's my life, and that doesn't impact my decisions, are mine to keep. And for me to, you know, either regret this sort of mattress experience was much bigger than I thought. I was very overwhelmed, but I left feeling so calm. I learned that I'm an ultra firm, not an extra firm, an ultra firm. I learned that I like the spring mattress. I'm an 80s and 90s girl forever. And I learned that I probably have room for a queen, actually. I learned that customer service can be gentle and can be meaningful. Sharon and I had a blast. It was a quick sort of, introduction, probably a quick one for her, considering people stay in there and meander for a while. I was probably in there for an hour. I said, wow, this is, quite the investment. It's not something that I, had put on my list. Like this year, I'm going to buy a new mattress, right? You never think that something's going to fail on you. A car situation, you're like, damn, I just put $1,000 into this car. Had she said, hey, where's your credit card? I'm going to go swipe it. I might have just given it to her in a dream, and I might have, she was just so on point that I almost wanted to give her my money. And that's how I want my clients to feel. That's how I want to feel when I buy artwork. I want to give you my money happily because whatever I'm investing in is going to bring me so much fucking joy and I want it to come from you. And at the end of we're talking about investments. She's like, of course I deal with a lot of, objections and a lot of people who are resisting prices. And, this is a part of my job is she goes, but I'm not trying to be an asshole, but your arm, you have some really beautiful tattoos. And I knew exactly what she was fucking going to say. She's like, those are beautiful. And I'm like, yeah, they're expensive. That was literally the second thing that came out of my mouth. She's like, I know they are. She's like, and how many do you have? I mean, I could possibly say that I have like close to $3,000 worth of tattoos on my body. And the mattress I wanted was $2,200. And the most recent one of my grandmother's wallpaper, I traveled to Canada, stayed in a few Airbnbs, and got the tattoo, which essentially was the cost of the mattress. Now, that mattress is going to last me close to 10 to 15 years. Obviously, the tattoo is forever. But when we talk about necessity, when we talk about needs and money and what's worth it, what's not worth it, what our priorities are, and I'm very frugal with my money, but she was like, well, what about the iPhone? When the iPhone comes out, everyone's rushing to the store and everyone wants the latest. And she goes, money a lot of the times is about the external, what we wear on the outside, what we, when we're at a restaurant, what looks good, when we are shopping and we don't need something, but it's going to look cute in our homes. I could walk into a Target and easily spend 100 and just blink my eyes once. And she was just making all these like very valid points. She's like, of course it's an investment, but like your body is also a vessel that you want to keep intact, right? Because I was mentioning my herniated disc and my back problems. But, I say this and I wanted to actually make this a public episode because all the objections that she probably gets, and all of the people saying, well, are there any other discounts? And I remember myself saying that. So what's your Labor Day discount? And, in my head, I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm paying $2,200 for a mattress. But after my experience with her, and feeling how amazing that mattress felt as a side sleeper. And I know it might sound silly, it made me feel like I was buying a car, right? You do all this research. So I go home and I'm like motivated to like price match, and right, I'm on Macy's and seeing if I can find this exact same model. And, I still have like a little bit of research to do and to kind of figure out, okay, well, how do I make this huge purchase that I wasn't planning on really making? How do I manage this into my budget? And then with all the caveats, like what's the guarantee? And like, again, just with the customer service just being so top notch, I felt really comfortable asking her those questions. And I did not think that she was going to, in any way sort of give me the finger for not having purchased. And that's how comfortable I felt. Like I could walk out of that. She even offered me a water while I was walking out. And I forget how kind people can really be in this world, because we're in war constantly. And I mean that figuratively and literally, but just even on the street. I mean, I just took a nap and heard screaming people. I think it was a couple just screaming at each other, just shamelessly. And then I have this experience with a woman in a fucking mattress store, and it humbles me and it brings me down to earth, where I'm like, wow, I want my clients to feel that supported all the time. So this story is really for anyone who's wondering if their customer service is enough. If you're wondering how to provide better customer service for your clients and your customers and your potential collectors, how to roll out that red carpet for someone who's going to buy from you again, how to keep them buying from you again. Where's the sweet spot, and how can you sort of get them to love the experience and remember it forever? Because when someone buys a piece of artwork, they're buying a piece of you, and they're buying a piece of the experience and the exchange between you and them. It's not just a money thing. I'll probably remember Sharon forever. She's the one who helped me define what kind of fucking mattress I want to sleep on for the next 10 years. And that's a big deal. She helped me figure my shit out in a matter of an hour. And when I think about my job and what I do, in a matter of 45 minutes, if I can get on a strategy call with somebody and they're like, I need fucking help with being so resistant to hopping on stories, and I can help them really navigate that in a super detailed way, and understand, what the resistance is about, and understand what options I could give them that would be the least intimidating to just get the ball rolling in a really, really supportive, sort of like, I want to give them a hug type of information, where the information wraps around them so that they let their guard down and they feel confident enough paying me for that type of support. And I want that for all of you, and you can have that. But it also takes really looking at the psychology of your buyers and people who are following you, people who are not yet following you, right? And so that's the end of this podcast episode, but I'm curious to hear what you think about this episode. And I'm excited to see you at the Creators Power Hour, and giving you a virtual hug from the Terri Talks podcast to wherever you are right now. Thank you so much. If you have not yet listened to some of the other episodes about selling, being savvy as an artist in business, I have some great episodes that are still up, and you can just peruse at your own leisure. Have a great rest of the week, rest of the day, rest of your evening or morning, and I'll see you on the gram. Peace out. Thanks for listening to another unfiltered episode of Terri Talks. I've also got some free resources on my website that will help make your life a lot easier as an artist in business. You can also check out my services or apply to work together. Before you go, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and sign up for my newsletter for more art industry information. See you on the gram.